It's Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we are YHWHs and the Torah YouTube channel.
Wow, they did that together and we didn't even practice that together.
That was actually pretty good.
And we are happy you're here. We are glad you're here and we thank you for your time. We truly appreciate it for all the families out there that are listening in on this. You know, much love to you guys. Huge love from Boss Clan and from Yah. Our Creator has given us a tremendous blessing. He's given us a set of guidelines. He's given us hopes. And He's given us a place to be after this. So when these old bodies of ours break down, we cripple up, turn into dust, into the grave, and there's no more. Our soul continues on if what, boys?
If we believe in Yahushua HaMashiach.
And if what?
We follow the Torah.
And if we keep the law, statutes, and commands. The book of Revelation says that there's two things that is required. And one of them is that not to be lawless. Eli, what is lawlessness?
It is not following the Torah.
Yeah, and what is iniquity, Cade?
Not follow. It's the same as sin, not following the Torah.
How do we know what iniquity is, Jade?
Because it is defined as, iniquity is defined as a sin. And we know sin is breaking the Torah. That is our guidebook, and when we break one of those commands, we have sinned.
It's the same way you know a road violation because you were taught the laws of the road. You don't run a red light. That is a road violation. That would be considered iniquity of the road.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can run a stoplight and you get a ticket, and you are under the law of the land. If you don't go pay that ticket, they're going to take you and hook you into jail, and so you must go take care of it. So if you go and take care of it, you pay that ticket. That does not, you can't take the receipt of that and just go running red lights, because the curse of running a red light is somebody's going to mow in the side of you and T-bone you.
Or you're going to hit someone.
Or, yeah, somebody's going to hurt somebody badly, and you could spend at least, have murder on your conscience. You can spend a lot of time in jail as well. So anyway, the laws of God are something very important, and it's not fulfilled to the point of it being gone. It is our Messiah walked the Torah perfectly so that by his blood we may have a chance at this. And so as we get into these 613 laws of Yahuwah, there's a tremendous amount of these that are duplicates. This list is absolutely horrible, and I don't know if this is the official list that people have, but it seems like there's like one list that they have, and they all repeat themselves over and over and over. So we probably cut at least 50 of these down on repeats, maybe more, and so we're going to keep going through them so that we can get through the 613 laws of Yah.
And now a fair warning, we repeat the same one where it says, do not eat your sacrifice. He had it as the priest shall not eat the meat outside of Jerusalem, or some crazy thing like that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they probably had that in the Talmud, but that was not what it was.
Yeah. All right. 401. If someone sins through ignorance, then he shall make a sacrifice. Leviticus 5:15 and 16.
When a being commits a trespass and has sinned by mistake against the Kodesh matters of Yahuwah, then he shall bring to Yahuwah as his guilt offering a ram, a perfect one from the flock, with your valuation in shekels of silver according to the shekel of the Kodesh place, as a guilt offering. And he shall make good for the sin that he has done against that which is Kodesh, and shall add 1/5 to it and give it to the Kohen, and the Kohen shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering, and it shall be forgiven him. Okay,
so there you go. So if you sin through ignorance, then that is the way to make atonement for that. 402. Not to work consecrated animals, Deuteronomy 15:19, and that is for the next one as well. Not to shear the fleece of consecrated animals. It feels like we've already been through this one. Deuteronomy 15:19. So let's hit those. Who's doing that?
Kadosh Yahuwah your Elohim, all the firstborn males that come from your herd and your flock. Do not work with the firstborn of your herd, nor shear the firstborn of your flock.
Okay, so I guess the firstborn of your flock has a lot of hair, like all the time, is my guess. I don't know.
I think it's more like sheared before the sheep, the firstborn sheep.
Yeah, so there's still going to be a hairy critter out there, the firstborn of whatever it is.
Really furry.
And the firstborn was what you were supposed to give to Yah, so he wanted it like directly as it was.
Yeah, no haircuts or anything of sort of crazy. Just how he designed it, right? He didn't want any, shear that you're taking away from.
Fluffy sheep.
Yep. All right, 404. Not found. Just kidding. 404, Anyway. Boo.
Exodus 12:6.
Okay, 12:6. To slaughter the Passover sacrifice at the specified time.
And you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. Then all the assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it between the evenings.
So how long did they have this little lamb in their house?
So it seems that they got it on the first day of the first month.
So they had about 14 days, roughly.
So you end up with this cute little cuddly lamb in your house for like 13 days. And on the 14th, you cut his throat.
Yeah.
And Boss Clan would have totally had that thing on their laps and petting it and loving on it, and it's just a little baby around here. And then that is part of the sacrifice, right? That is part of the thing. Is your sin, the sin that we should not have done. The only way for atonement is by the life and blood of that lamb, the perfect lamb. And so it's crazy. It's crazy how it is.
And a lot of these laws, you'll see how it talks about Yehoshua, because a lot of these laws applies to Yehoshua, which we'll see in a little bit, and when we get to them, I'll explain them.
And who's Yehoshua for those who
He
don't
is
know?
Jesus Christ, for those who know in English.
Right, and so it's Yeshua, Yahushua. It's like Joshua with a Y. It's up for debate, I suppose. And, I guess unless we really truly walked, we would never truly know exactly how it was. But Yeshua is closer than Jesus for sure. Okay, 406.
405 and 406.
Yeah, 405, 406. And the 405 is not to slaughter the Passover sacrifice while possessing leaven. And 406, not to leave the fat overnight. Exodus 23:18.
Do not offer the blood of my slaughtering with leavened bread, and the fat of my festival shall not remain until morning.
Yeah, and there should have been no leavened bread. There should have been no leaven anywhere around there. For sure, definitely, he wouldn't have had leaven with the Passover meal. Okay, and then not to leave the fat overnight. Did you?
Right, that was in the same verse.
Okay. So 407, to slaughter the second Passover lamb if you missed the first Passover. Numbers 9:11.
And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharel, saying, If any man you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or being a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Pesach unto Yahuwah. The 14th day of the second month at evening they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs.
Okay, so what is that saying, gentlemen?
So basically, you're on a journey and you missed the first Passover. You always give you a second chance for a second.
Or if you're
Or
unclean.
if you were unclean during that time, he did not want you doing the sacrifices and did not want you near the Passover. So he says, if you miss it or if you were unclean, you have a second time to do it, and I'll let you do it next month on the 14th day. So
Right.
exactly 1 month from then.
Right. Okay, and 408, the Pesach, what did they say? Pashko?
The Pashko, yeah.
Paschal lamb is to be eaten with matzah on the night it was slaughtered. So the Passover lamb is to be eaten with matzah. And what is matzah?
That's
Unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread. So some of them actually say it's sugar bread. I don't know if it's sugar bread or not, but we know for sure it's unleavened. Right.
Right.
Exodus 12:8.
And they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire, with unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Okay, and our dog's going over there like blowing his nose or something. Sorry, folks. 409. To eat the second Passover lamb on the night of the 14th of the second month.
It's a repeat.
Repeat. Why? Did not, that means two
To
verses down.
slaughter and then to eat.
Oh, right, to slaughter and to eat.
It's the same thing.
They define it. That's how the Jewish Talmud works. That's why there's 1,200 commandments for keeping Shabbat that are doctrines of men, right? They're not doctrines of Yah.
Right.
Okay, where are we at? 410. To roast the Passover lamb and not eat it raw or boiled. Exodus 12:9.
Do not eat it raw, nor boil it all with water, but roast it in fire, its head with its legs and its inward parts.
Okay, and my dogs are going crazy. This may break into some sort of riot. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Give this a second. This is called a grumbling pack.
No.
I have Nicole is policing the pack.
Hey.
We don't have a professional studio. We are not that professional, so
fact-
we're in with the dogs.
In fact, most jail houses walls look better than our walls. We just have cinder block and cement, so it's not actually walls. It kind of looks like I don't know, a third world country house.
Cool patterns.
Yeah, cool wall patterns. Okay, so dogs are settled down. We are so sorry, folks. We are truly sorry. There's nothing we can do. We just live with these guys. Okay, so where are we at, gentlemen?
4:11.
4:11. To no part of the Passover lamb may be removed from the house. Exodus 12:46.
Tiger.
Hold on. It looks like we may need to pause this. All right, spankings for pit bulls. All right, here we go. Read it, please.
All right. 12:46.
46. No part of the Passover lamb may be removed from the house. And again, folks, we're so sorry.
It is eaten in one house. You are not to take any of the flesh outside the house, nor are you to break any bone of it.
Yeah, it's very interesting how Yah wants us to get rid of that lamb and deal with that thing and just be eat in haste, right?
Right,
So,
and that's what I want to comment on the broken bones right there. Because they did not break Yahushua's bones, so he was our perfect lamb that he didn't get his bones broken.
absolutely. Right. A very good point. Okay, 4:12. The stranger must not eat from the Passover lamb. Exodus 12:43.
And Yahuwah said to Moshe and Aaron, "This is the law of the Pesach. No son of a stranger is to eat of it."
Okay, and so there you go. 4:13. A hired servant or traveler must not eat from the Passover lamb.
A sojourner or a hired servant does not eat of it.
Okay, well there you go. So anyway, that's very interesting too. And there it is, the next one, 4:14. Because somebody asked me a question about this. 4:14. An uncircumcised male must not eat from the Passover lamb. Exodus 12:48.
And when a stranger sojourn with you and shall perform the Pesach to Yahuwah, let all his males be circumcised, and then come near and perform it. And he shall be as a native of the land, but let no uncircumcised eat of it.
And we had this question from a brother of ours who is not circumcised, and this command was in there, and I did not even understand the command. And I don't quite understand it, but being not circumcised, you would be breaking Passover by celebrating it. So I don't have any other fix for it other than what it says. So if you're uncircumcised, you should not be keeping Passover. So that's just what it says. 4:15. No bone of the Passover lamb shall be broken. Exodus 12:46. We just read that.
We read it up, way up.
Okay, so one more time.
All right. It is eaten in one house. You are not to take any of the flesh outside of the house, nor are you to break any bone of it.
Okay, and then the same for 4:16. Not to break any bones from the second Passover offering.
This one's number 10. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinances of the Pesach, they shall keep it.
Yeah, and so that's for the guys that have missed the first one for either being on claying or being on a road trip or something of the sort. All right, 4:17. Not to leave any of the lamb over until morning. Exodus 12:10.
Do not leave of it until morning, and what remains until morning you are to burn with fire.
Yes, and so that was the Passover lamb. And I don't know what they actually burned the bones with the fire, but it had to be like a super hot fire because it's hard to burn bones. So that again is something, we've had a lamb and we've tried to burn the bones and bones just don't seem to burn. So I don't know, maybe there's a trick. Where are we at? 4:18. Not to leave the second Passover meat until morning. Same thing, repeat. Numbers 9:12. And so that's the same thing as we just read up there. So 4:19 is eat the Passover meat entirely on the night it is offered. Again, this is a repeat, Deuteronomy 16:4.
And no leaven should be seen with you in all your border for 7 days. Neither should the meat which you slaughter in the evening on the first day stay all night until morning.
And for those who don't read and don't understand what the Torah is, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers are all basically laws throughout those times, and then Deuteronomy is essentially a recap of everything over. So when we go into Deuteronomy, we're recapping everything else that they've talked about prior to this and created laws. So 4:20, 4:20, to be seen at the temple 3 times a year, Passover, Shavuot, and the Feast of Weeks, and Sukkot. That's 4 things. 3 times a year. The Festival of Booths. What do we got going on here, folks?
The Festival of Booths is Sukkot.
Yeah.
Shavuot is the Festival of Weeks.
Yeah, that's just giving the definition of
The
what.
description. I think it should be in
Shavuot.
parentheses.
Right. So,
So it's Passover,
Passover,
Shavuot, and Sukkot.
yeah. So
3, but then there's the extra add-ons like telling
Describing
you
what they are.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Deuteronomy 16:16.
It says 3 times a year, all your males appear before Yahuwah Elohim in the place which he chooses at the festival of Matzah, and the festival of Shavuot, and the festival of Sukkot, and none should appear before Yahuwah empty-handed.
Yeah, and so this is still a command. So, I mean, if you could ever make it over to Yisrael, then I guess you would want to go over there 3 times a year. But since we don't, we really can't. And so I'm not so sure that's even a holy place over there anymore. So it's a little corrupted. 4:21, sacrifice your first fruits to Yahuwah before you eat of it. Exodus 23:14.
Three times in the year you are to celebrate a festival to me. Are you sure that's
Is that your first verse? Exodus 23:14.
Let's see. Oh, yes. It's much further down. Okay. 3 times in the year you are to celebrate a festival to me. Guard the festival of Matzah. 7 days you eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you at the time appointed in the month of Aviv. For in it you came of Mitzrayim. Do not appear before me empty-handed. In the festival of harvest, the first fruits of your labors, which you have sown in the field, at the festival of the ingathering, at the outgoing of the year, when you have gathered in the fruits of your labors from the field. 3 times you are to appear. 3 times in the year, all your males are to appear before the Adon Yahuwah. Do not offer the blood of my slaughtering with leavened bread, and the fat of the festival shall not remain until morning.
Right. Okay. So that's just a recap. Okay. 422. To rejoice on these 3 festivals. I think we read this one before, so I think this is a recap as well.
Yep, but I'll go over it. Just kidding.
Hit it.
And you shall rejoice in your festival, you and your son and your daughter and your male servant and your female servant, and the Levite and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow who are within your gates.
Yeah, it's very interesting. A command to rejoice. Wow. I think a dog just
set off a mouse trap.
Sorry. 423. Not to appear at the temple for annual festivals without offerings. I think we just went over this again.
Yep, it said, but in the
same one.
In the end, it says you should appear, and then in the end, it says, and none should appear before Yahuwah empty-handed.
I think that's like the 5th time we said this here.
Yeah.
424. Not to forsake the Levites, which we've read before as well. So this is a recap. Deuteronomy 12:19.
All right, it says, guard yourself that you do not forsake the Levite as long as you live in your land.
Okay, yep, we knew this, so we're just recapping these. So 425, every 7 years on Sukkot, the Feast of Booths, to assemble all the people and read the law. Deuteronomy 31:10-12.
And Moshe commanded them, saying, at the end of 7 years, at the appointed time, the year of release at the festival of Sukkot, when all Israel comes to appear before Yahuwah your Elohim in the place which he chooses, read this Torah before all Israel in their hearing.
Yeah. So that's very important. I mean, these are things that we could still do. During this, we can definitely read this. There's a lot of commands in here we can still do. If you are able to do them outside, I'm not saying able to do them. You shouldn't go probably set up an altar and start making sacrifices. I don't think. And definitely you shouldn't start concocting some stuff that may be strange fire. So there's a lot of rules and regulations of that kind of stuff. But everything you can keep, we should keep. And so that's the way to look at it. And so you could definitely keep 425. 426, to consecrate to Yahuwah the firstborn of man and beast. Exodus 13:12.
That you shall pass over to Yahuwah every one opening the womb, and every firstborn that comes from your livestock. The males belong to Yahuwah.
Yeah, and I honestly, there's commands in here. I do not know what this would actually mean or what would be.
How would you give your firstborn kid to Yahuwah?
I don't know, and I don't know if you
Maybe make him like a Nazarite.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe make this guy a Nazarite. Maybe stick him I don't know. Maybe no raisins for you. Maybe we should keep your hair long.
I'll miss the grapes.
But if you're a Nazarene and it says you're not supposed to look like a girl. You're not supposed to cut your hair as a Nazarene either. So, at the end of the day, you're end up looking like a girl.
Maybe I could
the beard.
Giant, yeah, you need a beard. It's all about that beard. All right, so here, let's roll on. And, okay, so 427. You may not eat your tithe. Again, don't cheat Yah. Deuteronomy 12:17.
You are not allowed to eat within your gates the tithe of your grain, or the new wine, or the oil, or the firstlings of your herd, or your flock, or of any of your offerings which you vow, or the voluntary offerings on the contribution of your hand.
There's obviously some heart issues or something.
Yeah, I think we got another 5 or 6 times now.
Yeah. 428. The firstborn of clean animals cannot be redeemed. Numbers 18:17.
But the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, you shall not redeem. They are holy. You shall sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shall burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah.
Yeah, well, good luck to the firstborn. 429. Whatever of your herd passes under the rod, 1/10 goes to Yahuwah. Leviticus 27:32.
Says, and the entire tithe of the herd and the flock that passes under the rod, the 10th one is Kadesh to Yahuwah. So I don't know a rod if you had him under the staff and he was guiding him or something.
Anybody have any ideas besides that?
I have no idea.
I think you'd have to read the whole chapter for this one. Something happened at the end of Leviticus.
Yeah, whatever of your herd passes under the rod, 1/10 goes to Yahuwah. So I would imagine that's new incoming herds or something, or I don't know what under the rod is.
Having a party and doing limbo.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. So 430. If anyone knows, like on 429, what that would actually mean when your herd passes under the rod, and these we should probably look up in other translations and see what it means. But
The other translation also said rod.
under the rod. Okay, there we go. No idea. 430. If you change what you have vowed to sacrifice to Yahuwah, both shall be sacrificed. Okay, Leviticus 27:33. Don't be an Indian giver. And that, I'm not saying that as like an evil thing. I'm just saying.
Don't cheat Yah again.
Yeah, don't cheat Yah. We say that as a kid all the time, and now I guess it's like it offends people. So I don't know.
He does not inquire whether it is good or spoiled, nor does he exchange it. And if he exchanges it at all, then both it and the one exchanged for are Kodesh. It is not redeemed.
Okay, so if you
Basically, if you try and change them out, they both get
Whatever one you
Slaughtered.
just yeah.
You say this animal's for Yahuwah. You go and no, I'll change this one instead. They both go.
yeah, it's crazy. And you, if you knew this law, you wouldn't go exchange your animal. It'd be over. You'd be like, oh.
I lost 2 animals that day.
Yeah. So I wonder if the priest or somebody outside the temple goes, hey, you know, if you bring this other one in here, you're going to lose the first one.
That was the last one.
Okay, where's it? Is that the last one?
Yep.
Okay, so 430?
Yep.
Okay, so that is it. So we are slowly but surely poking our way through the 613 laws of Yahuwah. Excuse me. That are, these are man-made lists of Yah's laws. They're Yah's laws, but this list is obviously aired out, and we will get the list to everybody and get that. Till then, everybody,
Keep reading your Bibles and please follow along with us so that you can know the laws of Yahuwah as well.
salvation begins at where, Cade?
The cross,
How?
by understanding that Yeshua is your Savior, that He is your Passover lamb, that accepting that you have sinned, you are a sinner, but you are going to now be under Yah's law, you are now going to be an Israelite for Him, and that you are going to do what His Torah is and what He has told you to do, so that He sees that you are His chosen child, that you were called out of the Babylonian, that you called out of the multitudes, that you were grafted in, just as the Mitzrites when they said, the Mitzrite people, the slaves, all the people that went with the Israelites when they went out of Egypt, they all joined in and they all followed the Torah. They all went into their own tribe, and you can as well. You can join your own tribe just by staying in your Bible, doing the Torah, praying, believing in Yeshua. Paul himself said, believe in Yeshua and you will be saved.
Yeah, and, you know, they've come up with 35,000 or so different kinds of denominations, and like 99.9% of them all worship our Creator on the wrong day. They've gone with what the Catholic Church put in way back in the day, where they decided they were going to change the Sabbath day from 7th day to 1st day. And the Bible talks about that. It talks about the laws being changed and how nobody's keeping the laws, nobody's keeping it. And one of the very first things about being a child of the Most High, Jaden, is what? What is the mark of the Shabbat to a believer?
It's a rest day. It's a peace day. It's a day with Yahuwah.
But it's His mark. It says over and over and over, the mark of a believer in our Creator is that you keep His Sabbaths, right? It's the mark, and so you are marked by Him for keeping the Sabbath. And when you keep a Sabbath, Eli, run us through a quick, what does the Sabbath day look like to us?
We get up, we pray, we eat some breakfast, read some Bible, take some naps, and then read more Bible.
Yeah, and we just basically rest. We rest, and that is what the commandments are. We're not supposed to make anybody work. We're not supposed to work. We're not supposed to light fires. We're not supposed to cook meals. What else,
We're not
guys?
supposed to buy. We're not supposed to sell.
Yeah, buy, sell. We're not supposed to draw water.
Not
And
supposed to leave your gates.
And the Jews will
Yeah.
have you thinking, don't mow your yard, now don't rake up the grass you cut, and don't pick up the litter in your yard, whatever. It should just be don't work, do not work. Don't get confused on the whole thing, just do not work.
Did the Jews mow their lawn?
I'm sure they have made 1,000 laws for it.
I don't think they do. I think Rob Ski was the only guy that used to mow his lawn on Shabbat and said it was all right. And, you know, that's obviously not
You have big numbers, and he says, all right, a lot of people are going to follow it. Don't mow your yard on Shabbat. Just don't work. It's supposed to be like, literally, you're supposed to almost like veg, almost like
Yeah, and when you start taking a day off every single week, you start looking forward to it. And when you take that day off, it is really a nice, restful day. And when you don't get rest on that day, you really, really feel it. So our Creator built a system set up on sevens, and the seventh day is a day that we need to recharge. And if we're keeping the laws, statutes, and commands, then we will absolutely want to start keeping Shabbat and keeping it how he wants to do it. So I think that's it. Anybody have anything else?
Read your Bibles.
Yeah, Jay, do you have something?
Yeah, if you are just finding the Torah now and you guys are following along with us, learning the laws with us, it's great time to try applying these to your lives as you learn them.
A lot of people, though, will say that this is not possible. Like, I've gotten it 100,000 times before they say, first of all, they say righteousness. You're trying to buy your way into the Shamayim by righteousness.
I wouldn't say that's true because you are obeying. If you are told something by your parents, you would obey, and he is our Father, so we must obey what he tells us to do.
Eli, why would you want to go against our Creator? Why? Let's say, for instance, you're a pig eater, right? You're a swine eater, and you think it's okay. Why would people do this? Give me some reasons behind this and why they shouldn't.
Well, probably the reason they don't want to stop eating is probably maybe because it tastes good. I haven't had it in a while. I can't quite remember. Probably tastes well.
Yeah, we used to eat swine. We used to eat like pork rinds. We used to buy bags of what they call pork rinds, and pork rinds were like skins of pigs or something. We used to eat it all the time. In fact, we thought it was on the cross. We thought we could eat what we wanted. We had this thing called a bacon wave. Remember the bacon wave? It goes in the microwave.
Like slice of bacon in a row, and it like cooks the bacon all perfect.
Stick it in the microwave. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Crazy
remember like some kind of
concoction by the
like
Babylonians,
protein.
man. And so.
Yeah, we had a couple guys.
Yeah, and most of the time it is almost a pride thing. People do not want to change their ways. They are accustomed, they are comfortable, and nobody wants to go out of their comfort zone into what Yah says. When you are stuck in the Babylonian lifestyle, you are stuck in the symbolism, the hypnotism, the numerology, and you don't want to change your ways and turn back to what Yah has told you.
I will tell you, as being a Christian most of my life, that it is almost a brainwashing. Like, we have default answers for absolutely everything. Jesus made all food cling. Peter had a dream. Everything. We're all scripted down to certain things. But it is very clear when you read the Bible, and you don't even have to read the Old Testament. If you read the New Testament, it is very clear the laws, statutes, and commands are in today. And that is what our Messiah fought for. And so he has verses such as, if you love me, keep my commandments. The greatest of the commandments is what, Eli?
It is to love Yahuwah with all your heart, mind, and soul.
And what is the second?
To love your neighbor as yourself.
And so if you love your neighbor as yourself, that's a very strong order, gentlemen.
Yeshua said that they were hung, those two, hang on those. And why is that? Because if you love Yahuwah with all your heart, you're going to do as he says. When you love your parents, you're going to do as they say. When you love your neighbor, you're not going to steal from him. You're not going to take his wife. You're not going to kill his animals. You're not going to kill him. When you love your neighbor, you're not going to do him wrong. You're going to live correctly as you should. You're going to live as a peaceful neighbor. When you love Yahuwah, you're going to do as he says. When he says, don't eat pig, you're not going to eat pig. When he says, do not lie, you're not going to lie. Because when you love him, you're going to do as he says. Because that's what Yeshua said. If you love me, keep my commands. And that is what he meant when he says these two, hang on those.
Yeah, Paul even goes even further, and he says love will cover a multitude of sins. And I was trying to explain that the other day. And when you love, you have true love, you wouldn't have the ability to be evil and to wrought evil against other people if you truly love your neighbor. You're not going to be able to hurt them because you love them. So, yeah, it's very important. And so all of these laws, statutes, and commands, they apply to us today. They apply to our lives. They apply to us. And if we are able to put away our pride, if we are able to put away our, I guess our indoctrination, because when we go to these churches, we learn certain things. And, any church that is worshiping on a Sunday is delegitimatized. They're not a legitimate the function of our Creator. They are a synagogue of Satan. Everything. The Baptists, the Catholics, the Presbyterians, the Lutheran, the Mormons, you name it. Even the Seventh-day Adventists, yes, even the Seventh-day Adventists who got one command down. I've talked to Seventh-day Adventists who told me they didn't know the Torah. They have no idea what that's all about. And so there's more than just keeping the Shabbat. It's about keeping and staying in alignment with our Creator so that you can live a guiltless life. If you are out of the alignment and you're out of covenant, you are a Gentile. When you are in covenant with our Creator, you are a Hebrew person, a Hebrew. That's the only thing that we know it as. And so scrap the 35,000 different religions and come to the religion of our Creator, which is His. He's an Hebrew. We're the people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were an Hebrew person. So that's what we want to strive for, and hopefully we are opening doors for folks who are looking into this stuff. And if you guys have any other questions, please put them in the comments. And if you have anything we can do for you, prayer requests, put them in as well. Gentlemen, do you have anything else?
Have a great day.
Have a great day. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom everyone.